In this video, we are going to learn how to create this animated menu. You could see it pops up like this and closes with a circle. You can also replace the circle with your personal image, and we can also create this animated one where it keeps on rotating. And we can also create this one where it only rotates once and goes back. So it's your choice whether you want to animate it rotating or just have it scaling up. Also, I actually have this as a paid template on my website, which has 7 modern menus, and I'm working on more that I'll add it in this template. So if you purchase it now, you could obviously get the future updates for free. So yeah, if you want to purchase, get it from here. So I'm just going to keep my reference open around here, and this is going to be where we are going to make it. So let's create a container for now. We can call it, I guess, header. Inside this, I'll create another container which would hold our all the elements that we want. So if you already have a header, then this would be your uh, previously created header. You don't need to create this container. As I didn't add a header, I added this. But if you already had it, you simply need to add this container into your previously created header. So I'm just going to call it, I guess, menu. Why not? And I'm going to give it particular size. So if I go to my menu container that I've made around here, this one, you could see I've given it like this size. So let me just show you what it says. It says minimum 320 pixels or 97%. Basically, it means that it will use whichever the smallest value is. I think in most cases it would just use 320 pixels. So even if you type like 320 pixels around here, it would still work. But I've still kept it 97%. So what would happen is if someone resizes the screen, so if someone like takes this screen and then makes it smaller and it gets lower than 320 pixel, it will start using 97%, because at that point 97% might be lower than this. If you want, we can keep it 100%, but it's your choice. Next, we are going to add our icon into this. So we can add an icon. Let me just check this. And then I'll choose bar like this. By default, Elementor adds some spacing below. So we can simply remove this by doing -10 like this. And one more thing to keep in mind, that let's say if you add a color to this one and if you do clear, it's not turning into this slash. Okay, instead of it, it's automatically turning to primary. Then you need to change a setting in your Elementor. So let me check. So go to your dashboard and go to your Elementor settings, I believe. Let's check. I don't quite remember. Yeah. Make sure these two are ticked. Disable default fonts and default icons. Just tick this so that we can actually use code to change our values. Because right now you could see that if I change this and do clear, it actually clears. But in your case, it might just be like when you do clear, it is automatically changing to primary global font. So we don't want that. We want it to be actually clear so that we can control it via our code. So this is going to be our menu icon. For time being, I'll also add some color to this one so that we can visualize it. Let's like align it on the right side like this. Then inside our menu container, let's add one more container. And inside this, we will add all the items that we want. So I can type like menu items or something. Again, this does not matter what you type. It's just a way to like keep you remember. So inside this, I'll add my text. I'm just going to make this all P because we don't want it to be on any other stuff. And also if you want, you can make the header container to be HTML tag nav here so that SEO knows that this is your navigator. So I'm not going to worry about styling for this tutorial. So make sure you style it to your liking. So for now, I've just added 4 of this. Obviously, style it better. You can see I've done like better styling around here. So do it for you guys so that it matches your websites. Then we will type accordion. Okay, there we go. Accordion. You can place it wherever you want inside the menu items container. We should not be using like multiple stuff. We should only be using one. So let's type services. And by default, Elementor adds like lots of stuff. So I'll just copy this inside this one. So you could see Elementor actually adds like this border, and also we need to actually remove that completely. So we can do none, and then obviously we can change the typography to match our design. That's too much. We can make this have the icon on the right side or left side, and all the styling. Okay, and I'm not going to style again, like I said. It just, I just want to like have something for just to show you guys like tutorial, or not tutorial, like how to do stuff. So this is how it looks. Obviously, I think just to tell you, show you guys that this sizing, you can actually control it with padding, and then you can also reduce a bit with the line height around here. So if you are not familiar how to do it, that's how you do that. And I'm also going to go in here in the interaction. We want all to be collapsed. So by default, nothing would be opened. So you need to work and then make everything look similar instead of looking like this. And let's say if you have multiple drop down menus like this, then you should not be using this one like add items. You should actually just duplicating the whole accordion widget, because that's how we want it to, because that's how it is like made to work. Then we simply need to add a button. Let's add it at the bottom, and then this would be like contact us, something like this. Again, I'm not planning on styling on this video. Now inside our menu, we need to create another container, which would be a circle, or it would be our the image that we want or something. So again, click on menu and add a container, and I like to call it menu BG. So basically it's our background. For our menu, which is this one, I'm just going to make it go on the right side. You could choose however you want, if you want to do it by fixed value or absolute, however you want. For this tutorial, I'm just keeping it on the end. Now this menu BG, we need to actually give it, let's say pixels by pixels. So let's say I make it like 1000 by 1000, like this. Let's give it a color like red color, I guess. And we need to make it have position absolute, and go into size and make the flag shrink 0 so that it does not shrink. And this is how it looks right now. So in our menu, let's give it 999. Actually no, let's give our icon 99. So let's 1 2 3 4, let's give 4 nines. Our menu item should be below our icon, so we will give it 9998, and our BG should be below everything, so 9997, like this. Now our goal is to make this BG be actually around here. So I've done this via code, but you could also do it via this setting. So let me just show you first. Right now everything looks messy, I know, but let's add our code, or actually let's start adding by our CSS classes. So let me get this. So DM menu icon. So this icon would have the CSS class DM menu icon too. Everything would be in description, so you could check it out in the website that I linked to. For the menu container, it is this one, menu items. It is menu container 2, DM menu container 2. Then for the BG, it is where is it? Yeah, DM menu BG2. So everything would be in description. DM menu container 2, DM menu BG2, icon is DM menu icon 2. Let me copy this code and add it at the end of everything. So right now you could just add it at the end of everything. Let's paste it. You could see suddenly everything's just missing, or something's happened. So let's check. So one more thing, we need to give titles some CSS class. So let me see what I've given to my titles. So DM menu list true. So this headings and all, we need to give it DM menu list true. Even the button, or if you want to add image or anything, you should also give it DM menu list true. Let's preview this. And here you could see it turns into white to black, which is why I had to like disable this. And this text is also popping from like right to left. The services is working. We just now need to make the image be perfectly aligned with this one. So how we can do that? So let's go to HTML. Let's see. Okay, it is opening. So in case it is not opening once you're pressing this button, just update the page and refresh, and it might open. And if it still does not open, then you might need to like remove the code and then do the settings first. So depending on how it's happening in your website, the way you progress or proceed is different. So if it is not opening even after adding the code and refreshing, just do all the settings first and then add the code. So this background, what you call, menu BG, I'm going to go into border and then add a 50%. And if you add 50%, it turns into circle. And if I go to HTML, you could see I have given it position absolute, right minus 455 and top minus 465 pixels. So here's the thing. You could change it via around here. So if you want, you could change it via here, but I have like an easy way to do it. So let's just select all three of this code and do this one. So if you press control forward slash, so if you press, let me just, so like control plus this key, you could actually just make this commented, and basically what it means is that this code will not run. And what we will do is, instead of running it from here, you could see it says position absolute right and top value. We can actually go in here and use like the position absolute around here. So like this, so we can add position absolute and then choose right and top like this, and then we can simply just play around with the values until it is, you could see this plus icon which is showing in our menu BG. You could actually use this as a reference to make it at the center, and you could see this is how it's looking. So it's minus 466 and minus 476. What was the code right here? So I had used minus 455 minus 465. So it's same as, if you want, you could type it here minus values, or you could just do it around here. Both works perfectly fine. So make sure to remove this code if you are not using, if you are planning to use the default settings in Elementor. Let's do preview and let's see how this goes. And you could see it works now. Obviously it looks weird, right? Because the circle is like this. But if you check in this one, I've actually made it be at the right corner, which is why it's looking like this. So all we simply need to do is, if I make the header be full width, you could see it looks perfectly like that now. If we just make everything be at the right side, so let me just do paste style, paste style, paste style. So I just moved everything to the right, and you could see it works. It is a bit laggier. So the reason why this is happening, you could see where it is like waiting a bit, is simply because we don't need to add this code, this like CSS class, to our contact. So what's actually happening is, when you are pressing the key or this what you call open button, it is adding this, then adding this, and then this one is adding this, and then it is adding this, but these two are actually hidden, so we don't really need to show it. So make sure nothing inside of this had the same, have the same like CSS class. And now it looks perfect. Obviously everything else is just styling. You also need to make sure your heading has been given overflow hidden, else it would like add some horizontal scrolling if you don't do that, and it would not be good. Go to our menu and then remove the white color, or what, this one, and let's go to our HTML and let's look for our color. Okay, so this one, DM menu to Elementor icon and then DM active. So I want my color which is by default. So which is by default right now, it is showing, not showing anything because it is white. So if I make this, let's say black, and then let's do fill black. So by default it would be black, and when we click it, let's do blue. Why not? So the color did change, but this is looking weird, right? So the reason why it's happening is because this is how big our container is and it is not looking perfectly. So what we can do, instead of using overflow hidden, let's add a container name called, like, you can call it anything. So DM header overflow, go to a HTML and then type overflow x clip, like this. So only X would be clipped and Y would not be doing anything. So because we don't want to do anything on Y axis, and you could see now it works perfectly. And if I go and inspect it, you could see I don't have any left and right scrolling. So it is working perfectly. Now, how about we do the next stuff? So the next stuffs are very easy. So if you look at this one, everything is same. So everything that I've done is same except the use of the code. So if I go to my menu BG again in here, go to my and add some stuff around here. So let's say if I add this blue colored one, I'm going to remove this color, do position center, display would be contain, and now I've already gotten this, what you call, this image on here. Next, we simply just need to change the code, and let me just show you guys. So if I get the next code and I simply go in my HTML and add it, let me just do this. Let me just copy this and paste it around here. Let me just replace the code which is in here like this, and we obviously need to make sure that we are changing all the values based on the CSS classes around here. So nothing's different. I've just added a everywhere that we want to, like, add this code. So you could see the menu icon would be a like this, the heading would have a like this. So let's just quickly do it. And then menu BG would have a at the end, like this, 2a. Now if I just go and preview this, so again the icon has been changed white, but you know how to do it, so I'm not going to show you. And here you could see it is already working, and all we simply did was change the code. And if you want to, if you go into your menu BG, you could, like, actually set your required height and then play with position value to make it in center. And if you want to change the speed of the rotation, we need to look at here. So DM menu 2a from DM menu BGA BG2a. This one is basically like how long it takes to scale. And so if you want it to be faster, you could make it like lower value, and if you want it to be slower, you could increase the value, so it will take 1 second to scale up and all. And here you could see the rotation one. So how fast you want it to move is based on the duration. So right now it takes 30 seconds to do one full rotation. So if I make this to be, let's say, 3 seconds, which would be like very fast, and click on my menu, you could see it's very fast right now. So that's all you need to do. And the third one is also same. So if I go into the code, which would be in description, I've simply set it to 2b. So everywhere you would just be using 2b instead of 2a. Make sure to do position right top for everything. And in this one, if we go to the rotation for the BG2A, so yeah, DM BG2A, what it does, it rotates to 180 degree. So you could decide how much you want to rotate when it is clicked. So in the third one, you can see that it like only rotates one, right? It does not keep rotating. So you could choose how much degree you want it to rotate and how long it should take. So yeah, that's all. So it's pretty easy to make, looks nice too. And if you have any issues, you could tell me, and the code is in the description. So yeah, that's all. Thanks for watching.